Welcome back, boys, girls, everyone green, and whoever's in between. Week one, done. 2026 season is officially underway, and we are cruising. And I guess the best way to describe it is there's one cruise that's not helping, and that's Dylan. But the rookies are really carrying the lead storyline so far this season. With MLB's top prospect, Connor Griffin, set to take the stage on Friday after signing a 9-year, $140 million deal before having an at-bat. We haven't seen that play anyone in the ass before. Hey, do you still have your Kangaroo jersey? Okay. Meanwhile, the other new blood to the MLB, it's really taking off. And in my opinion, it's making an early case for MVP already. ABS. ABS so far has been the MVP of the season. It's more talked about than Shohei. Never thought I'd say that. Already with a walk-off challenge win and pure humiliation to the major's worst umpire, CB Bucknor. You know what CB stands for? Certified Botch. Been a very rough week for the geezer. Took a foul ball off his mask and left the game. Under his own power. Unfortunately. Mason Miller is now officially entering the game with a brand new walkout song, lined by Korn. Such a badass closer song. Screw the trumpets. Sandy Alcantara. He's back. Healthy. Plus a 93 pitch complete game. Very Greg Maddux. Through shade and a backhanded compliment at the Marlins home crowd. Fans not here, but we still love them. Gotta admire that. 6,605 people in attendance. Woof. But yeah, let's add one more team to Florida. They need it. They need a place to go, apparently. Let's get into it. Start this show. This is Drunks from the Pond. As always, like, follow, subscribe, comment, do all that fun jazz. And most importantly, stay drunk.
Welcome back to the pond. You know who it is. I'm Jay. That's Rich. Episode 73 coming to you live. And as Rich had mentioned, the opening week of baseball has passed. And taking a quick look at the standings, we have 7 teams that are tied at 3-3. And the Colorado Rockies have won 2 games, which matches their total wins for last year. Sorry, Rockies fans, it had to be said. But a lot to go over.
Yeah, that's fair.
2 series have pretty much been played for all teams. And, there are some very good teams that are starting off very well. Yankees are 5-1. The Marlins are 5-1. The Brewers are 5-1, who had the best record in all of baseball last year. And then you have some teams who are starting off bad, like you have the Athletics, who are 1-5. The White Sox are 1-5. Boston's 1-5. Minnesota's 1-4. So obviously not starting the way that they would like, but as we all know, there's still over 150 games to play, and anything can happen in baseball. But it's only fair to do a quick recap of things that we've noticed over the first week. And, there's been a couple things that have caught my eye. One of them being Munetaka Murakami has not struggled, I think, like we all expected. Okamoto from Toronto has not struggled, which is nice to see. And I hope that gives future Japanese ball players the same confidence to come over and be like, you know what? Like, if they can do it, then I can do it. Because we all know that at this point, Ichiro and Shohei Ohtani are just complete outliers, and they're going to be elite by any means. But having guys like Okamoto and Murakami come over and kind of show that they can do it, it opens doors, which is nice, because that's what baseball is all about.
Yeah, I would disagree with that.
It's kind of crazy because, you say that Murakami's starting off well, and the White Sox as a team have not looked bad. So the fact that they're 1-5 is it's a little surprising, because you would think with the way that their lineup had been swinging it, like, you'd be like, yeah, that team's definitely good. No, they have 1 win on the year. And unfortunately, they started their season against Milwaukee. And I mean, it's not easy when you open your season against the team that finished with, like I said, the most wins in all of baseball last year, who couldn't pull it together in the playoffs. But that seems to be the Brewers' MO. They
Yeah.
play great in the regular season, they drown in the playoffs, and then they sell all their best players because they can't afford them. So obviously,
Trade their
you
ace
enjoy the Brewers
back-to-back years.
you enjoy the Brewers while they're hot, but then you kind of come to the realization that this is just like, it's like, wow, I'm really glad we have these guys, and I'm really not looking forward to seeing them get traded at the end of the season. But what can you do when you have I don't want to say cheap owners, but when your owner's mind is not exactly on the baseball diamond?
I mean, at least he's not funding a Broadway play.
And Harry Frazee is,
That's it. I know. But baseball would not be what it is if it wasn't for that. So, I
I
mean, I
mean,
guess it's a
no,
good
you're
thing.
fair.
I mean, I'm just waiting for them to sell Bernie the Brewer.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a good thing. I think they'll definitely
I
sell the slide before they get rid of Bernie.
Oh yeah, we'll sell the slide and then make it some AI slide that's not actually there, some BS like that. It'll just be played on the Titantron.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, it would
Yeah,
just be a
because
fake
eventually they're gonna be
video
like,
of Bernie the Brewer sliding down, like the most insane.
it's gonna be Bernie the Brewer circa like a Richie Sexton home run every single time. He's gonna be in the wearing their old jersey, old logo, the mid 2000s logo, and it's just everyone's gonna be like, did they really recycle footage from 20 years ago? What the hell? It's like, hey,
God,
it's the best quality we had.
Richie Sexton.
You have 4K from last year. I'm sorry. Did you want Corey Hart or Jeff Jenkins,
What the hell was
Ryan Braun,
I
Prince
can't think of
Fielder?
the fucking movie. Uh fucking like Christian Yelich hits a home run, and then they take Bernie Mac from Mr. 3000, Stan Ross,
Yeah.
just video clips, and everyone's like, it was like, that Bernie Mac. Like, that would be
Last time I checked,
fantastic.
he was not. Last time I checked, he was not available.
Like, showing clips of Stan Ross ending his career with 2,999 hits would be like, that would be a great video on the Titantron. No doubt about
It would
it.
be hilarious.
But
Was
like,
Bernie Mac from Milwaukee?
I mean, listen, like, obviously there's some teams that can hang, there's some teams
He
that
was born in
can't. The
Chicago.
Brewers happen to be one of those teams that, they
That's
can
surprising.
put players on the field. Like, they're not, it's not that they can't sign their guys. They can. And at some point you're going to have
Okay, you there?
Jacob Mizorowski is going to be due for a contract, and I doubt they're going to let him walk. You have,
Yeah, I think we
my God,
froze.
what's his face? I think they traded the other kid, if I remember correctly. Let's get this roster up real quick. Yeah, they must have traded him. But like, so if you look at their team, you have William Contreras, who's only 28 years old, who is solid as a catcher. Jake Bowers, I don't know too much about, but from his stats so far, it seems like he's a solid hitter. Bryce Terang's an all-star, so that's going to cost you a penny when he's ready. Joey Ortiz, don't know much about. Luis Rengifo, don't know really too much about. I know he was with the Angels. Brandon Lockridge, haven't heard of him, but he's batting 400. Garrett Mitchell's solid, very fast on the base path, and at some point, I'm assuming he's going to be due for a contract in the coming years. And yeah, he signed through 2026, 1 year, $950K. He doesn't reach free agency until 2029, so it's safe to say that Garrett Mitchell's probably got a better chance of getting traded than he does getting a new contract. But I mean, you still have Andrew Vaughn, who's unfortunately on the 10-day IL. You got Gary Sanchez, who is crazy because I can't believe he's having a bounce back year. But like, overall, the Brewers don't have a bad roster. I just wonder who is going to get signed when the time comes. Because you're going to have to pay Bryce Terang a pretty penny. And I don't think the Brewers are the type of team that's going to be like, yeah, we're shopping Bryce Terang because he's only 26 years old. He's a free agent in 2030. I mean, he's only got two years and some change in the league. He's not arbitration eligible until 2027, and he's not a free agent until 2030. So it seems like the Brewers are set up for a decent run, but I just kind of wonder if the owner's ever going to be like, yeah, we're paying all these guys. Like, we're done trading our pieces. Let's go all in.
Well, that's all talking about the Brewers. You probably did an amazing job, as always. I don't have much negative to say about them. Team build wise, their bullpen's great. The bullpen's going to continue to be great. The rotation's what scares me. You have Mizorowski and uh, sort of Brandon Woodruff. I mean, without Peralta, it's a really baffling move. Because what did they get in return for Peralta?
They got pitcher Brandon Sproat,
That's right.
and I believe they got one of their hitting prospects, but I think he's in Triple A.
Probably
Let me
blocked.
take a quick
Probably blocked
gander.
by someone in the majors.
No, it was Jet. Was it?
Jed Lowry?
No, Jet Williams.
Jet Williams.
The Mets acquired Freddie Peralta and Tobias Myers from the Brewers in exchange for 4 top prospects, Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams. And I'm pretty sure Jet Williams is starting in,
Well,
I think, yeah, he's in AAA. But it's crazy because we got to talk about this. Speaking of shortstops, we just saw a shortstop get paid today,
yes, we
coming
did.
from the most unlikely of teams. The Schittsburg Pirates finally realized that prospects come pretty cheap when you throw the contract out early, as they locked up Griffin for 9 years, $140 million. Like, damn. So instead of letting him, test free agency early, he'll become a free agent, I think, in 2029, which will still be right in his prime. And if he turns out to be the player I think everyone expects, he'll easily command well over $300 million. And I'm just lowballing with 3. For
I
Paul
mean, 5 years,
Skeens, though,
4 years from now, sure. I mean, Paul's still on his rookie contract, correct?
yeah,
It's got to be somewhat comical to him. To like, dude, I'm the reason you guys are even deciding to spend any money, but it hasn't gone to me. I'm the sole reason this franchise is even talked about. I mean, now they brought up Connor Griffin, who is apparently supposed to be the Paul Skeens of the infield. I mean, I don't see him doing the equivalent of a sub 2 ERA. So, I don't know.
I mean, my biggest fear is that Connor Griffin isn't what everyone expects him to be. I'm not saying that he's going to bust and he's going to be like a sub 200 hitter, never figure it out. Like, I don't think he's that type of player. I think the bar is being set way too high for a kid that's still 2 years away from being able to walk into a bar and have a drink. Like, we shouldn't be talking about him being this elite talent. Like, is he good? Yes, he's very good as a prospect. But we have seen elite prospects come up to the major league level and not be able to hack it. I don't think he's that type of guy, but how often do these prospects come up and not be able to do what everyone expects them to do? Like,
Not even just that, but like, how often does the top prospect not even make the majors?
yeah. Uh, and it's crazy because the first person that comes to mind of like Do you remember the Padres catching prospect Ethan Salas?
Yeah,
Do you remember the hype that he got when the Padres first called about him and he first signed his contract? Everyone was like, "Here he is, like he's gonna be the next Johnny Bench. Like this kid's incredible. He's gonna
yeah.
be something else."
There was no
Like
such thing as a negative word about him.
yeah, it was like he would. I mean,
He was what,
if you look at
17?
yeah, so if you look at his prospect page, the first sentence is Ethan Salas was considered the number one international prospect in 2023 and signed with the Padres for 5.6 million bonus that matched the reputation. So he was signed at the age of 17 for almost $6 million. And the way that everyone talked about him, it was almost like the 17-year-old was going to be in the major leagues that following week. And now we're in 2026, which I mean, mind you, is only a couple years. He's still marked as their number 2 prospect, but he's sitting in double A and his ETA is next year. But when you look at his numbers, he doesn't put up the numbers of a top prospect. It's like I don't want to call him a bad player, but what do they really think he's going to put up this year? I mean, I don't know. I kind of group Ethan Salas and Jason Dominguez in the same conversation of these guys had so much hype in the minor leagues that all of a sudden they either get their chance and they kind of fizzle a little bit or they start falling off as a prospect and everyone's like, well, that's not who he's supposed to be. He's a prospect.
Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it, yes, Jason Dominguez, however you want to pronounce his name. That's just so weird. I just don't get it. But you got Dominguez on one hand, who's been a prospect for since 2004, and you got Ethan Salas, signed when he was 17, as you said. But he also did something that not many other people do when they're signed that young. He had his cup of coffee in spring training with the main roster. He was legit catching meaningful innings in spring training. I know meaningful innings and spring training, weird sentence. It's like ordering sugar-free soda. Why would you even do that? You're dumb. Just dumb. Soda soda. But you look at that, it's like they're treating him a little bit more, like they have a little bit more care, but also a little bit more like trust in him compared to Dominguez, who like it's almost like they don't give a shit about him. And it doesn't make any sense. We talked about it last week, the fact that he's not on the roster, same with Spencer Jones. But yet, Randall Grichuk is. The Yankees don't need a penny pinch. And I'm pretty sure Jason Dominguez makes less than Randall Grichuk. I'm nearly 100% sure that combined, him and Spencer Jones will make less than Randall Grichuk.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
So you're not really penny pinching. It's like you're doing Grichuk a favor, which doesn't make much sense because why? You don't need leadership. You don't need experience. You definitely don't need experience when you have the likes of Stanton, Judge, and Cody Bellinger in that lineup. Like I, I mean, you have one championship between the three of them, but how much experience do you need from Randall Grichuk of all people? No offense to Randall Grichuk, solid player for most of his career. As we looked at his numbers last year, we were shocked. Good, good career. But then you got Ethan Salas, who I don't think he's really fizzled out in the minors. I think it's more of he's learning himself because, dude, when you're 17, your body's not major league ready. He's still growing. How do you know that his entire game didn't change a little bit because of the way he grew? Like, handing a 17-year-old that type of, I guess, written in stone journey that they created for him, kind of not the smartest move. I guess it's kind of like the Phillies signing an 11-year-old.
So like the reason I'm kind of harping on Ethan is just it's not even that I'm harping on him. I'm more harping on the Padres for the way that they're handling Ethan because all right, so let's go and look at his batting throughout since he pretty much got brought onto the Padres, right? So they brought him in so he was playing for the San Antonio Mission in 2023 in Double A. He hit 179, 5 hits, 33 plate appearances. Small sample size. Overall, though, in 2023, he played for 3 different teams. He put up a 248 batting average, 290 plate appearances, 63 hits. Overall, not bad. 9 home runs, 41 RBIs if you want those extras. Now you come to 2024, he goes to A plus ball and he hits 206 and that's 469 plate appearances and 85 hits. 206 batting average and a 599 OPS. Not really good. And then he goes to the Arizona Fall League in 2024, hits 228, 107 plate appearances, 21 hits, and then OPS is 751. So it gets a little better. 2025, he plays for San Antonio again. He played in 10 games, 6 hits. I'm sorry, yeah, 10 games, 41 plate appearances, 6 hits for a 188 batting average and a 544 OPS. Now, the
I mean,
fact
was he hurt?
I'm assuming he was hurt, which
He
is
had to
why
be if he
which
only
is
played in
why
10 games.
so that's why I'm not harping on him because if he's coming back from an injury, especially when it takes him out for the season, then it's
Sure.
hard to judge him for that. My only thing is that when he put up those stats in 2024 in the A plus league, hitting 206 with a 599 OPS, even after the Arizona Fall League, it probably wasn't the best idea to just put him up in Double A. Like
No.
why why not keep him down in A ball for one more year? It's like, dude, listen, like not to judge, but you weren't really like ready for that step. So why don't you stay down here, get yourself together and then, we'll come to you around like the quarter mark of the season, see how you're doing, maybe you're ready then. Like I don't want them to continue pushing him up the ladder when he's not ready.
Yes, I get exactly what you mean now. The mishandling.
Yeah, like I think
Yeah.
I think if they handled him properly, that he could be what is expected of him. But when you're just
Yeah.
kind of throwing him up the ladder just for the sake of like, "Oh, he's our guy, he's our guy, we got to keep moving him forward." It's like he's clearly not ready to take that next step yet.
I mean, not to interrupt, but are you on his baseball reference?
I'm on his baseball reference and his
Yeah.
prospect page.
So the one thing that I'm seeing here that you typically don't see, I guess it's common in minor league. I don't typically look at too many minor league stats. It's his age difference. Last year in Double A, he was an average of 5 years younger than every player. 5 years younger. That's a big difference in baseball.
That's huge.
It's massive. I mean, you're looking at it from the lens of this kid was a 17-year-old phenom. Great. Awesome. Just because he was a phenom at 17 doesn't mean that he was ready to be facing people who were in their mid 20s. Like, I think mistreatment or rapid advancement might be affecting with his mind because his maturation is completely under the league average. I mean, this kid, yes, we can't deny he has talent. You're
No,
doing things like
not at all.
this. Like, you're doing things like this. I mean, has Connor Griffin worked his way into the majors, or is this a completely different level of talent trying to, compare the two? Is Connor Griffin really that much better? Because I mean, he's 19 coming to the majors. Same age as Ethan now.
Like, yeah, I do think Connor Griffin is really just that good. I mean, like, and not to compare spring training starts because obviously Ethan Salas was on the Padres spring training roster, and I think he went like 2 for 16 or something. Like, it wasn't. I always go back to it's not a big enough sample size because it's really not. Like, you can't give a guy 16 at bats in spring training because you can get two one day, you can get two 3 days from now, you can get one the next week. Like, you can't take anything from that if a player's getting 4 or 5 days off between at bats.
Yeah,
Like, Pittsburgh almost made it a point to be like, this is our shortstop of the future. Like, we're going to put him out there and we want to see what he can do. And Connor Griffin just absolutely shit on the baseball. So it's just more of like, okay, this kid's ready.
his stats from last year, 3 teams playing A plus, and double A. Hell of a run. 21 homers, 94 RBIs, 65 stolen bases with a 333 batting average in 122 games. Last time I checked, that's an MVP type season.
That would be the word on the street.
Slugging at 527, OPS at 941. The kid's a hitting machine. But is he ready? Like, in all seriousness, is he ready? I mean, he has 46 at bats in spring. I'm sorry, 41. 46 plate appearances, 4 homers, 9 RBIs, 1 stolen base, but he batted 171. So 4 of the 7 hits were home runs. And that was my guess against Major League pitching. So, I mean, as of right now, they have him as an age difference of basically 6 years younger than anybody at AAA. Now he's in the majors. Birthday's in a week and a half to be 20.
Like, I think if Jared Triolo, the Pirates starting shortstop right now, if he was playing better, I don't think they would have pulled Connor Griffin up yet. But Jared Triolo is currently hitting 3 for 23 for a 150 batting average, a 461 OPS, like no home runs, no RBIs, 2 walks, 4 strikes. Like, he's pretty much doing nothing across the board. Triolo's been on the Pirates for the past 4 years. Like, I think this is just kind of one of the things where Pittsburgh's kind of like, all right, we have this stud in the stable, and we're running Jared Triolo out every day, and it's not a good look. Like, he's not really hitting. We don't know what to expect. Like, Jared Triolo's highest average was in 2023, where he hit 298 in 54 games. And then 2024, he played 125 games, hit 216. Last year, he played in 107 games, hit 227, and now he's hitting a $150. It's kind of like you're calling up Connor Griffin because you're telling yourself there's absolutely no way Connor Griffin can be worse than Jared Triolo.
That's fair. I mean, you also did just give him a bag.
Yeah,
So,
and you also just gave him $140 million.
so I guess they went for the first time in a long time. I've seen a team with a high rated prospect go, dude, screw arbitration. Let's just get it done. Because they were like, we're not going to even afford him after arbitration. He's probably not going to play here in 9 years. So
Uh,
let's just get this future Yankee shortstop out of here. Let's get him up here and let's let
Dude,
him swim or die.
if we're 9 years in the future and Pittsburgh's like, guys, we're 2 to 3 years away from being 2 to 3 years away, and Connor Griffin's like, get me out of this hellhole. He's like, I can't take this anymore. Meanwhile, Paul Skeens is up in some beautiful stadium somewhere. I don't know. Let's just call it Citizens Bank Park. And he's like, oh, man, you're still stuck there? That sucks.
He calls him from his meta glasses and says, hey, how's it look over there at PNC Park? And he goes, well, they reopened the steel mills for the war. It's kind of weird. The entire city is covered in soot and coal. Yeah, the mines are back open too. Did I make a mistake signing for this team for this long? Paul goes, yeah, I told you that. I told you that before you signed it. And he goes, no, you didn't. You didn't let me have your number. Paul goes, oh, yeah.
Whoops.
Livy said I'm only allowed to talk to my friends. He goes, but you guys broke up 6 years ago. Yeah, well, I couldn't help that. I really wanted to do the World Baseball Classic again, but she wanted a wedding. Paul goes, I couldn't do it without signing a big contract somewhere. So Pittsburgh wasn't giving me the money. She wanted her wedding on Jeff Bezos' yacht. I could only afford his I could only afford his dinghy, but it was docked. So we got married. We were gonna get married on the dock at the dock, and she said, I don't want this anymore. And I decided to sign with the Marlins because they offered me $8 million and all the beach time I wanted in Miami. Pittsburgh made me pretty pale.
Brother, that imagination's running wild tonight, ain't it?
Yeah, dude, just I felt like writing a story.
I was gonna say you were going for like a hot second there.
So speaking of stories, I asked this in our group chat, and you surprisingly didn't respond. So I recently started reading a new book. It's a baseball book.
I did see this.
This book is wild. Like, it is extremely immersive, very poetic about the sport, about the game, baseball. This is the Universal Baseball Association Incorporated by J. Henry Wow. Oh, it's J. Henry Wow Property by Robert Cooper. I have the best bookmark ever. It is a pinnacle baseball card from Denny's of Darren Dalton.
That's cool.
It's
I
pretty
respect
cool.
that.
I have a little treat for you. These that I brought that up. Another Denny's pinnacle holographic card, unopened, down in the attic. It's never been opened by a human, but I guess 1996, I guess 30 years, forced the bottom open.
You found an unopened Pinnacle pack from 1990.
Yeah, but it forced the bottom open after 30 years in the attic. It's by Denny's
Open it.
and Coca-Cola. Full motion hologram, Major League Baseball cards. One card per pack. Ooh. Ivan Rodriguez, 1996.
Pudge.
In 1995, his stats: 130 games, 492 at bats, 56 runs, 149 hits, 32 doubles, two trips, 12 homers, and 67 RBIs with a 303 batting average. I guess this is the year or two before he decided to get some juice with his grand slam, because there was a couple Ivan Rodriguez years that were just,
A little
dude,
questionable.
you're a small dude swinging big. He has 99, his 35 homer year. Jesus Christmas. That was
That
a
was a
that was
stud.
a, that was a fun little find the other day. And I was like, what the hell is this? Denny's made a baseball card? What? That was a fun guy.
No, I'll be honest with you. That is a hell of a find right there. Especially for a hologram. Pudge Rodriguez. I respect
Yeah,
that.
it's way before you ever called it a foil card. Holographic, hologram. I mean, Pokemon cards when we were growing up were called holographics.
Yeah.
Now everything is a foil card. And I'm like, it's not what it's called. Stop.
I used to have a holographic Gyarados card. That used to be my
That was a badass card, dude.
I
The
love
card
that
was
card.
sick.
I remember I pulled that out of like one of those like little 8 packs. I was like, come on. And I was like, mine. I was like, that is a haul right there. And my stupid ass like showed it to everybody. I was like, look what I got. Not knowing
Meanwhile,
that like I probably could have made some money if I just protected it.
you let all your little friends touch it with their peanut butter fingers and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, that thing was cooked in no time.
I grew up with my uncle being a hockey card collector. My uncle's the best. So he was like, you're getting them cards? Cool. Here, take these. And he handed me like a 200 pack of all the hard sleeves. And I was like, all right, cool. Till this day, I have no idea what any of those Pokemon cards that I put in Hard Sleeve went. Dude, I had binders, I had everything. Still, till this day, I have no GD clue how to play the game.
I have no idea.
I could play the video game, no problem. Love that. And I guarantee I could run through red, green, and blue, even yellow, with no problem. Not being like, I don't remember how to do this. No, I know I would know it. But the trading card game, shit was like learning a new language.
Absolutely. Never understood it. Never will. But that hologram Gyarados, top notch.
Dude,
Top
I'm
notch.
I'm envious of that. I think one of my favorite cards that I ever had was a holographic Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mime was
He was awesome.
like Mr. Mime was not only cool on the card, but he was cool in the TV show. You can't.
Yeah, because he was a nerd. Mr. Mime. Those were the
Good old
days, man.
Mr. Mime.
Dude, I remember waking up on Saturday mornings, Pokemon on WB Kids.
Yep.
That was my
BB
favorite.
Kids was that.
Yes. And then I would really hope and pray that it was raining so I didn't have to go to soccer. And if it was raining, I'd stay at home and play backyard baseball on the PC. Those, man, doesn't get better than that.
I genuinely can't believe they're bringing backyard baseball back. Like, that's insane. I never thought I would see the day of a Pablo Sanchez return, Amir Johnson. Oh my God.
Keisha
Ernie
Phillips?
Steele, Keisha Phillips, Mikey Tom. No, Mikey. What the hell was Mikey's last name?
Oh, I don't know.
It wasn't Williams.
Like Pete
Mikey.
Wheeler.
Oh, Pistol Pete Wheeler.
Yeah.
Kenny Kawaguchi, the wheelchair kid. Tommy
You mean
Delvecchio and his sister Angelina Delvecchio. Dude.
yeah.
Oh my God. Who the hell? Oh man. Dude, we're on fire. Hold on. We got to keep going here. There was a Amir Khan. Oh my God. Who was the little fat kid? Dmitry Petrovich.
Yes.
Dmitry was there. I said Kenny in the wheelchair. Oh my God. What the hell was Mikey's last name? Hold on. This is going to piss me off. Air baseball. Mikey Thomas. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
You were basically right.
Yeah, there was Mikey Thomas.
Annie
Keisha
Fraser.
Phillips.
Ahmed Khan. Ahmed Khan.
Ahmed Khan. That's it.
And there was Amir Khan, his brother.
Dante Robinson. I remember Dante Robinson because I always thought that he was wearing a black hat. And it turned out he just had a mini afro. Stephanie Morgan.
Dude. You went to a very special school.
Sally Dobbs. Marquis Dubois. Marquis Dubois was the because if you paid attention when he walked up to the plate, the frog that was in his pocket, in his like overall pocket, would jump and do like a flip back into his pocket. It was the coolest ever.
That is pretty generous.
Dude, the amount of time I spent playing backyard baseball, being the melon heads or
yeah,
great times. Great times. I'm feeling nostalgic as shit. I'm definitely getting backyard baseball when it comes out, though.
I bet.
There's no doubt. No doubt in my mind.
I respect that.
You brought up someone earlier, and this person is very important to the topic because this person sucks.
Wow, dude.
And I'll be honest.
Pete Wheeler, dude. Stop.
If there's one thing that I love more than baseball, it is hands down, a finely cooked Wolfgang's wiener. And let me tell you something. Me and my sister love her to death. Shout out Amy. Love you always. She bought tickets to the Phillies game because your boy was in a hole. And she was like, come on, we're going to go to the Phillies. We're going to get some nice seats. And I said, all right, like I don't have the money, but I'll pay you back when I do. We go, great time. An absolute ball down there. Finally saw Duran's entrance out of the bullpen. Absolutely electric. Loved every second of it. And on the drive down there, she was like, oh my God, it's BOGO night. If you don't know what BOGO is, you buy one hot dog, you get one free. Except the hot dog's like $7. So I'm like, man, like I could definitely go for some hot dogs. Go up to the stand. I'm like, can I get a Wolfgang's wiener? And this lady looked at me like I had 7 heads. She's like, pardon me? I said, ma'am, I'm just asking you for a Wolfgang's. She's like, I don't know where you think you're at, son, but you're at Citizens Bank Park. Like, there's no Wolfgangs here. And I said, that will be all. Have a great night. So, as much as I wanted a hot dog on BOGO night, I could not go against Wolfgangs. I was not going to do that. But who I will go against is the weenie of the week. And Rich brought him up earlier, and when he said his name, I was like, well, you're in for a surprise because he's about to win a very prestigious award. The weenie of the week is none other than CB Bucknor. You talk about a guy who had probably the worst week in baseball, except for Caleb Durbin, who has gone like 6 games without a hit at this point.
Yes.
CB Bucknor was absolute. First game of the year, he called the Red Sox-Reds game. Blowing calls every which way. Like, teams were out of challenges by like the 3rd inning. He was so bad. Missing the plate.
Eugenio was like, you're my girl today. Just so you know.
Like, so bad. CB Bucknor was so bad that game. And then baseball, of course, gave him another job. They sent him to Milwaukee to call the Milwaukee and who did Milwaukee just finish their series with? That was
The Rays.
The Rays, you said?
The Rays.
Okay, so yeah, they played the Rays, and CB Bucknor was on first base, so he was the first base umpire.
Yeah.
This dude could not have been any more out if he had just stayed at home plate and not even bothered running. Like, the Brewers player stepped on first, got the out, no problem. CB Bucknor, for some odd-ass reason or another, called the runner safe, and everyone was like, what do you mean?
All the way around. He was safe.
What was
out.
it?
Well, he called him out, except he was incredibly safe.
Okay. My apologies. Yes. So, Bucknor completely screwed this play up 100%. And the umpires were like, okay. So, immediately, it's challenged. They're like, no, dude, you're wrong 1,000,000%. Call gets overturned. CB Bucknor looks like an asshole. And mind you, both managers are laughing because how absurdly bad this was.
The best part was CB had to stare at the screen and, like, wait, what? And he's like, I'm dumb.
The worst call I've probably ever seen. And like I said, to the point where Pat Murphy and Kevin Cash are both staring at each other, cracking up laughing because of how bad he is.
It was audible chuckles that you couldn't hear. They were like, you gotta be kidding me.
Like, I don't like to point out a direct umpire for like the reason we have ABS, but I'm pretty sure the B in ABS stands for Bucknor.
Automatic Bucknor call?
Yeah, the automatic Bucknor sucks.
Oh, yeah, I missed
it. He's so bad still as an umpire. Like, thank God Angel Hernandez is gone. Joe West is gone. Like, a lot of the bad umpires finally just stepped away. CB Bucknor is the last line of defense for shitty umpires. Like, they're like, give me robots or send out Bucknor.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, you look at this and you're like, dude, if you're a player in the majors and you find out that he is in any way someone who could alter the game on the umpire crew for your series, you're like, dude, how are we going to get this week? Because it almost seems like every single series he's in where he is a first, third, or home plate umpire, you're like, wait, he did what? Why? What? But it's been like this for years. And you just look at it and you're like, dude, are you with us? Like, seriously, are you JNRDs? Because we don't know if you're serious at this point. Like, I feel like it's the most ultimate long troll ever. Because there's no way at the end of the year he ever gets a raise or anything like that. I know he's union, but I imagine those raises are via merit or, you know, being good at your job. I don't think there's a single time they went, you did good. Here's a raise. I If they did it, it was like, listen, man, you didn't get attacked in a city, so here's a raise. You didn't cause a riot, here's a raise. Was he involved in any of the playoff umpire crews last year? Let's find out. Because I don't recall. Because I know him and Angel Hernandez are two of those umps where it's like, nah, dude, you can go home when the Rockies do.
I was gonna say on Wikipedia, it says uh he was in umpire for the 07, 08, 09, 13, and 2020 American League Division Series. But it doesn't say he umpired the Rick Woodfield game in 2024, All-Star games, but no, they've ever since 2020, they were just like, no, dude, you're you're done in the playoffs. Like, we can't have this. And it's funny when you see Buckner's Wikipedia because it says, following MLB's implementation of the automated ball strike system in 2026, Bucknor garnered international attention for a series of badly missed calls. Like, dude, like, like how, dude? Like, Phil Cuzzy's 70 years old and he even knew it was time to step away. Like, Buckner's 63. If you're telling me that we have to deal with another 7 years of CB Bucknor behind the plate, screwing everything up, I don't think I'm going to make it to 40. I truly do not think I'll make it.
Dude, this ump scorecards page is so hard to navigate. I'm not
If
even going to bother with it.
if Buckner had a teacher for his ump scorecard, they would have called home twice now to be like, I don't know what you're doing with your son, but he's a moron. And his parents would be like, we'll talk to him when he gets home.
They call home. They're like, we're worried about the boy. Is he blind? Are you guys feeding him at home? Is he malnourished every single time he comes to work? Dude,
He's
it,
so
it is,
bad.
but it's become even more apparent now that Angel's not the whipping boy. I fully agree that
Like, I do want to mention this, though, because he did make a call in that first game. And then the baseball gods in the next game were like, I think you need a day off, bud, because April 1st, which was yesterday as of this recording, after taking a foul ball off a Jacob Mizorowski 100-mile-an-hour fastball to the face mask at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Buckner was removed from the game. So the baseball gods, rightfully so, were like, all right, dude, like, this is 2 games in a row. You f*** to bed. Yeah, it's time for a break. Buckner took one off the mask. Luckily, he's
awesome.
okay. I wouldn't wish ill on anybody, but I will also never step in the way of the baseball gods handing out consequences.
I guess we went two different routes on that. Oops. But like, you,
God.
you got to admit that you look at this and you're like, okay, how many umps take their job seriously? The number should never be short of 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
It should never be short of 100%. And then you got CB Bucknor, who's just absolutely hoping and praying that they grade on a bell curve, where they're like, dude, collectively, I mean, the league was really good this year thanks to ABS. And then you look at Buckner, he's like, please let me be part of that really good because, oh, shit, I mean, worse than ever. Damn.
Like, 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 I love to imagine that CB Bucknor is like, he's like, the good thing is each team only has 2 challenges. So if I blow 5, 6 calls in the first 3 innings, and then maybe they get overturned, they're both out of challenges. So now I can just go back to blowing calls and no one can say a single thing to me about it. I fully believe that's what goes through his mind when he's making these calls. He's like, if you get it wrong, this is your last one. And then I can just call anything a ball, and there's not a damn thing that you can do about it.
I mean, maybe. This is his 30th year as an MLB umpire. I'm pretty sure you met your quota of years.
I'm going to say
It's what?
29 years too long.
Yeah, that's fair. Extremely fair. I think there has to be a limit for umpires where you look at that one game where Eugenio Suarez literally went, nah, dude, on back-to-back pitches. And he's like, mother. And then both pitches just, all right, overturned. And it's like, dude, they were both in the same spot. How did you not realize that from the first pitch? And then
I
apparently,
don't think he cares.
No, I agree. Because did you hear what he said after the blown first base call? He said, my eyes weren't on the bag.
So what the hell are you? Oh, dude, don't get me started. Don't.
I know. Dude.
Don't do that.
So all I heard from my eyes weren't on the bag were I wasn't doing my job because all I was doing was looking at the guy handing out nachos or something stupid. Like, what were you watching? Did you look at the play at all?
Like, how, dude? How do you?
You know what? I'm gonna say it. And I hope you really do agree with me. If CB Bucknor ever has the privilege, nay, the honor to have a Wolfgang's wiener, I hope he doesn't mop it up and eat it top down like an idiot. Because I can't expect him to do anything right.
You know what? I will follow you down that path. I fully agree. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why CB Bucknor is your April 2nd Weenie of the Week. Brought to you by Wolfgang's Wieners, slapping wieners in buns since 1901. And if you're going to put a wiener in your mouth, make it a Wolfgang's. And on the topic of Wolfgang's, it is time for your April Dog of the Month. The dogs are barking, and Wolfgang said, I got a hot dog for you. And he said, we're going to call this bad boy the Full Count. I said, whoa. I said, what do you mean the full count? He said, Jay, this is what they're cooking in the kitchen. Obviously, it starts with a Wolfgang's hot dog. Richie, what kind of bun goes with a Wolfgang?
A Martin's potato roll. I'm not going to say it again.
You're absolutely goddamn correct.
Thank you.
Chef, let me tell you something about Chef Caesar, all right? This man makes some bomb-ass chili. He sent samples out to me, Rich, and D-Money Damon, who is not with us. This was the best chili I've ever had. And I gotta tell you, yes, when the good chef told me that he was throwing this chili on a Wolfgang's, I said, are you sure they're ready for this? He said, I don't care if they're ready or not. I said, yeah. Brother, hands up. I was like, oh my God. He said, and not only are we topping this thing with the award-winning chili, a shredded 4-cheese blend, and topped with minced jalapenos. I said, are you sure about all of that spice? He said, are you questioning me? I said, you know what, brother? I don't ask questions. I just eat Wolfgang's. And he shut that door on me. I was like, oh, the chef does not like to be bothered.
I mean, it's just, It's pure heaven. Yes, this hits so hard. I have never had a weenie that just filled me so well. It like there's nothing small about this. The full count, the full count,
The full count.
you feel every single inch of it. And you are not leaving unsatisfied. It doesn't get better than that, baby. It's a little messy. It's a little messy. But hey, it's gotta be. It's that good, man. You both hands, and you can't help but destroy it. Or let it destroy you. Either one.
Like, my question is, like, on the whole messy front, like, is there anything than, like, a messy full count, but, like, the mess is coming from award-winning chili? Like, we're not talking, like, dog shit toppings here. Like, we're talking, like, leftover, like, bits of gold in this tray.
Oh, yeah, you sift through that gold to make this diamond of a dog. Like, trust me. It's, dare I say,
called the full count.
it's the only full count you're not upset to have. If you're dealing it, you're not upset because in the end, you're happy. And you're closing that out. You're using all 82 napkins they give you. And I swear, you are licking your fingers down to the wrist. You are going deep because it is just perfect. I all the power in me to go get one tomorrow morning. Yes, I will have one for breakfast.
Damn.
Because there is only one way.
Guys.
There's only one way to start your day. It's with a Wolfgang Green.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Tell them again. Tell the people in the back how you start your day.
There's only one way to start your day, and that is with a Wolfgang's Green.
So good, he had to say it twice.
There's nothing wrong with a little more than lean.
Let me tell you something. That was like a Braveheart speech right there. Like, if you ever needed a reason to get a couple Wolfgangs cooked up in the morning, a couple full counts at your local Wolfgang's food truck, that's it right there. Like, you can take that part of the video and throw it over a video of just dogs grilling. Like, I would compare that to like the Field of Dreams speech where he's doing like, the people will come, Ray. They'll spend their money and not know why. I compare Rich's Wolfgang speech right there to Field of Dreams. That is how good it was. Like, are you kidding me?
Thank you very much.
My God.
I was trying to be quite possibly a little bit more of an iconic speech, but it's okay. There's two that were in mind that I wanted to be. You have quite possibly one of the greatest sports movies of all time. Remember the Titans. Denzel's amazing speech for the Titans. And then
Good speech.
underrated because it just gets overlooked. Mr. Kurt Russell.
I knew it.
In Miracle.
Yep.
Come on.
They may win
Listen,
99 times, but not tonight. Oh, I got chills.
hell yeah.
I got chills.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's such a good set. I gotta tell you though, my favorite speech from Remember the Titans is when they're getting screwed on all the calls and the coach was like, I know what you're doing. He calls the team over and just, you blitz all night. If they even gain a yard, you're all sitting. Oh my God, dude. Oh, so
Power.
good.
That was power.
So, dude. So that is the best. That is one of my favorite parts of that whole movie.
Dude, I agree. I'm not gonna argue.
I'm fired up now. Oh God, so good.
So
It's so good.
being that we have spent quite a bit of time talking about very good digestion and, well, very good digestion from a very good, great, due to, let's just say, unfortunate circumstances about having to talk about CB Bucknor. So let's talk about a bad call that doesn't involve CB Bucknor. Jay, how about Topper getting tossed the other night? I would I would like your baseball mind to try and give me any little bit of insight on this because I was befuddled to say the least about as to why the hell they sent that runner back to third. He was tagged out. The play was not called dead.
I agree. I don't know why the runner was sent back. Topper was 100% right to argue that call. The fact that he got ejected, I was like, you know what? That is a warranted ejection. Like, that was such a dog call that did not help us at all. It only spiraled. Like,
It was the implosion of Taiwan at that point because everyone was like, what the hell just happened? Like, Taiwan, he's great all spring in WBC. I have a lot of respect for him for showing up and doing his job. Not the best job every single time, but he still shows up and does his goddamn job every goddamn day that they ask him to. Whatever they ask him to do. I am a firm Taiwan fan. Respect is earned, not given. He earned my respect. Bad game. Circumstances went
Taiwan
awry.
Taiwan as a person, I like. I like Taiwan as a teammate because he's always at the top of the steps. He's always one of the first people to greet when something goes right, something goes wrong, when there's a win. He's one of the first people out of the tunnel, shaking hands, slapping asses. As a pitcher, I'm ready for the Taiwan experiment to be over. We saw last year that he is so much better out of the bullpen. It's actually kind of insane. Like, I would have much rather them just be like, you know what, dude, you got 1 year left. You're making $18 million or something like that. Go to the bullpen and just come out when we need you in like a long relief situation. Eat like 2 or 3 innings, just help us out. If they would have given him that role, I would not have complained. But they threw him back in the rotation. Hopefully, it's only till Zach Wheeler comes back, which should be sooner than later. That being said, I would have much rather them have just sent Taiwan out to the bullpen and then just called up a starter from AAA to be like, listen, we just need someone to come up, eat some innings, make a couple starts, and then when Zach Wheeler's up, you'll be back down and we'll check on you again. Like, for example, they have Gene Cabrera. Gene Cabrera is a AAA pitcher. He's expected to come up at some point this year. I don't know if that'll happen. If I had to guess, I would say probably not unless, knock on wood, something happens. But, like, why not bring up Gene Cabrera for a couple starts? Why not see what he can do against Major League bats? If he sucks, well, guess what? It's only a couple starts. You're up here to learn, to try and figure yourself out, and then you take the knowledge you gained, you go back to AAA, and you keep working. That's it. And then Taiwan just keeps his bullpen. I'm fine with that. You know that Taiwan in a starting rotation at this point of his career is not what you need. Like, he got shelled for 4 in the first inning, and it was just kind of like, okay, here we go. Like, the Taiwan experience rolls again. And I put it on like the Phillies Reddit because someone had mentioned like the Taiwan Walker and whatnot. I was like Taiwan in this point in his career, the ball is going in one of 2 places. It's going in the dirt, or he's throwing a meatball down the middle, and it's getting smoked. And it felt like every hit the Nationals got after that point was off the meatball. And I was just like, dude, I understand why he's out there. Because you can't pull Taiwan in like the 3rd inning in the first game of the series. Like, at that point, you just got to take the L, let them get hit, and save the bullpen for the next couple days. Like, you can't waste all your bullpen arms in this first game. And then all of a sudden, games 2 and 3, the games you end up winning, mind you, because you have a bullpen, like, So, I mean, yeah, watching Taiwan get shelled wasn't the most fun experience, but it did save some bullpen arms for the next couple days for wins. So, you know, you got to take what you can get.
I mean, lo and behold, surprisingly, you know who the best bullpen pitcher is so far we've had this year?
If you say Zach Pop, I'm going to turn off my camera.
No, but he's not the worst. The best is Tim Mesa.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did see that. Shout out Tim Mesa, man. What a journeyman.
Yeah, I mean, he's been great.
Let me see something. Let me do a little researchy search.
I mean, Tim Mesa so far this season, 4 innings, no earned runs. Everyone else in the bullpen, their ERAs are ugly. I mean, Kyle
Yeah, there.
Backhouse, 20.25. Zach Pop with 6. Alvarado with a 15.4. Bolin and Brad Keller with 9s. Tanner Banks with a 3.38. And Duran with a 2.45 with a blown save. So it is what it is. But you got, as of right now, two aces in that rotation. Yeah, Christopher Sanchez, who's still doing exactly what Christopher Sanchez should be doing. He's already almost at one WAR for the season,
Yep.
which is
Off
insane.
what? 2 starts. Yep.
He hasn't even pitched 12 innings. And then let's talk about it. Baby boy made his debut. Andrew Painter. Boy, oh boy. He drew and he painted. He did very well all night. And I mean, it's a shame he only went 5 1/3, but at the same time, you do not need to do much more than that. Baby boy, it's your first start in the majors. Take a breath, relax. You did great. We want this to be your first fully healthy professional season. You're going to have plenty of more times to shine. You had a very, very good debut. And most importantly, you are keeping up with that trend of rooks doing the job this year in the MLB. So, on to what I'd probably say our final talking point of the night. Let's talk about one more rook who knocked a very important, not easy to come by moment off his major league checklist. Being that I'm such a big fan of the pit and the viral trend, Baby Jane Doe, I am trying to start the trend now. A baby Justin Crawford, your walk off was everything and more. That infield was in against a slap hitter. How dumb of a defensive alignment can you have against that type of hitter? You bring the infield in on the grass against a slap hitter, and what's he do? Puts it 98 miles an hour past the second baseman because the second baseman was 68 feet past him. They're 68 feet away from him. You're not catching that ball. You're not stopping that. If anything, you're letting that bounce off your chest and you're gasping for air. That ball flew past him, and as soon as Brandon Marsh scored, I saw the joy in his eyes of him stampeding over to catch up with Crawford. Oh man, that kid he had a hell of a game too. 3 for 5. I don't care if it's extra base hits or not. 3 for 5 is 3 for 5. You know what you did? You got on base 3 times. And most importantly, you won the game. Damn good job, kid.
I don't. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know how many times I've had to tell people. Just
Listen,
this
I
is
get it.
who Justin Crawford is. Like, people have just been like, "Oh, we should trade him." You know, we should do. I'm like, why? I'm like, if Justin Crawford is following in his father's footsteps, you are getting a young Carl Crawford. Like, do people know what Carl Crawford was doing at the major league level? Carl Crawford
I
was
mean,
a stud. Like, he
he is
was
hitting 412.
incredible for years.
He's
Like,
hitting
people act
400.
like Carl Crawford, like, it's insane. And then Justin Crawford comes up and he's what, 7 for 17, hitting over 400. And was like, Justin Crawford, he's legit. I'm just sitting here like, no, like, what have I been trying to say? If people actually listened to what people who know ball were talking about, then this wouldn't come as a surprise. Every time Crawford gets a hit, I laugh because people are like, wow, dude, is this kid that good? I'm like, yes. When you hit over 300 at every single level, over 300. Ethan Salas can't even hit over what, 270? Crawford's hitting
40.
330 at every level. Like, oh my God. I'm so glad Justin Crawford has showed up and showed out because this makes whatever happens this baseball season so much better. I'm so glad that Crawford, Painter, we may see Miller when Miller gets healthy, like, because there were severe doubts, and I'll be one of the first to admit it. I doubted where this team was at. Because when you look at the roster and how the past couple years have gone, I said, dude, like, I think the window's closing. I don't know how many more years you can actually compete when, you have the Mets building up. You have the Braves trying to get back on track. The Marlins are slow, but they're walking in the right direction. Nationals are kind of, I don't know. They're kind of in a weird spot where they do have pieces that they can build around, but it doesn't seem like they're fully set on building around these pieces. But like, you have a stacked National League East and you have a very good National League. So the Phillies need to be in that top tier, which they have the players who can be there. But a lot of their guys are getting older. Zach Wheeler's already talking about retirement. I know Bryce Harper wants an extension, and I love Bryce Harper, but for the most part, he hasn't showed that he's deserving of an extension. Trey Turner seems to be sitting in limbo right now, finding his swing. Schwarber's starting to come around. I don't like that they had the day off today, and I'm kind of worried that they're going up against the Rockies because either the Phillies are going to show up in Colorado and show out, or they're going to get mile high and probably get
I mean,
one of three from Colorado.
that's one
But
thing that
like,
is a traditional factor of the Phillies. Actually, I should say all Philadelphia sports teams. We play down to our competition. So it's hard
like
to disagree with the skepticism. But I'm optimistic. I think they're starting to put together. They're riding high off a big win, a walk-off win. So we'll see.
but no, I'm so happy for Justin Crawford. I can't wait to see how he progresses in his career.
As of right now, it's looking good. So Jay, is it that time?
It is definitely that time.
All right.
Do you want me to kick off or
No, I'll kick it off. I'll let you get the final words today. On this day in baseball history, April 2nd, in 1972, we're going to start off with a sad one here. Mets manager Gil Hodges dies of a heart attack in West Palm Beach, Florida, 2 days shy of his 48th birthday. Another living legend at the time took over, and that was Yogi Berra. He was named manager. Also, in 1976, 40 years later, the A's trade prospective free agents Reggie Jackson and Ken Holtzman together with a minor league pitcher who probably does not matter to the Orioles for Don Baylor, Mike Torres, and Paul Mitchell. Not the hair care product guy, different Paul Mitchell. And in 1996, one of baseball's biggest men, and I'm not talking about height, Cecil Fielder, steals the first base of his career in his 1097th career game. He'll steal one more before the end of that season. Cecil was a lot of things. Let's not go ahead and say he was a big stealer. But we have a couple birthdays. Former Phillies opening day starter, John Lieber, born in 1970. And quite possibly one, if not the most, I guess you want to, imitated pullouts and announcements of all time by Harry Kalas, Mr. Pete Incaviglia. Necessarily a household name, but with that name, should be. And then in 1945, Mr. Don Sutton. I guess I don't really need to do death days because I mean, Gil Hodges. I haven't talked about that. Did you know there was another Ike Davis? There's two Ike Davises in MLB history. There's that little,
Of Mets like Davis, that's about it.
yeah. They have another. They have another Ike Davis that died in 1984, who is not that same Ike Davis, unless he stole his identity. He was a Met, so maybe he did. Maybe he did. I would never put it past
Interesting.
anybody who was a Met. Yeah. Other than that,
I like that.
that's all I got, buddy.
I like it.
Hit me with your final thoughts.
So for my final thoughts, I have a couple fun facts, and then I got a little something for you.
Ooh,
So one fun fact, and I love this fact. So this is going to be a fact on Friday, April 3rd, except this won't be aired until after. So we'll celebrate this over tomorrow. Rich, have you ever heard of an outfielder by the name of Ping Bodie?
I know Bodie from The Wire.
Well, let me tell you about Ping Bodie and how he did something 107 years ago that I don't think will ever be done again, and I don't think it'll ever be. I don't think it can be understood at this point. So,
Okay.
noted for a voracious appetite, Ping Bodie competed against a Jacksonville Zoo ostrich named Perry in an eating contest on April 3rd, 1919, which had been arranged by Yankees co-owner Cap Houston as a publicity stunt. The ostrich Percy had previously been touted as the world's greatest eater. The contest was structured similar to a boxing match, with Bodie selecting his favorite dish of spaghetti as the food to be devoured. Ping was declared the winner after finishing his 11th plate before the ostrich passed out before starting his. This man ate 11 plates of spaghetti. The ostrich ate 10. If that was me and I could take that to my grave that I beat an ostrich in a spaghetti eating contest, yeah, you know what, dude? I would probably, yeah, I would want that written on my gravestone.
Did not lose
Like,
to an ostrich eating spaghetti.
107 years ago. Like,
You're
we
like,
joke around, like, thinking about what people were doing, like, over 100 years ago. Yankee outfielder named Ping Bodie is just eating spaghetti up against an ostrich. These people were not as far back as we realize. That's such a great story, because that sounds like something that could happen like a week from now.
live event.
No doubt my mind. And then my other fun fact. So, for reference, Dodger Stadium holds about, I want to say, probably close to, feel like 50,000, maybe a little too much, but let's just take a look. Okay, so 56,000 is their capacity. It's a lot of people. Did you know that there are only about 23,000 baseball players who have ever been in the major leagues? That's not even
Yeah, give or
half
take.
of
Yeah.
the capacity of the. That's crazy to think about, that if you put every one of those players in that stadium, it would not even be filled halfway. Baseball's been around since the 1800s. That is so wild to me. And the other crazy thing about it, I just had it. God damn it. Hold on. No, I lost the number. Damn it. There was a number that had came up, and it said that even though there are around 23,000 players who have played in Major League Baseball, there's probably about 1,500 of them that have only played in one game. That's wild to me. And I can name two of them off the top of my head. Shout out Field of Dreams again for Ultra Bald Moonlight Graham. And number two is the next guy for my behind the scenes, who I will not name. You'll just have to wait till the episode drops to figure him out.
Can I take a guess?
That's crazy. You can take a guess.
I cannot remember his name, but was it the Rays player who got hit by a pitch and ended his career after one at bat?
No, but I do know who you're talking about. And I cannot remember his name either.
I can't either. I already closed my laptop for the night.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but his name's not coming to me.
He was a stud too.
But yeah, but just crazy to think about that the number of major leaguers would not even fill
It's
Dodger
wild.
Stadium halfway.
It's wild. I mean, as you said, 26,000+ players have made the majors. 1,500, give or take, a little bit north probably. Only one trip.
Yeah.
Only one trip. Not a round trip. Just one trip, and then you get to go home. Or
In
back to the
baseball,
minors. And
immortality.
yeah, I mean, shit, you know what you did? You had a cup of coffee.
A cup of coffee. Sometimes that's all you need.
You had your cuppa.
And for my final thought, just a series look ahead. Considering this episode will drop on Monday, we will give you the Monday schedule. On Monday, the Chicago Cubs will be visiting Tampa Bay at Tropicana Field. Kansas City will be visiting Cleveland. San Diego Padres will be visiting Pittsburgh. Cincinnati visiting Miami. St. Louis visiting Washington. Milwaukee will be going to Fenway. The Dodgers will be heading up to Toronto for the World Series rematch. Sure to be a hell of a game. Detroit will be visiting the Minnesota Twins. Baltimore heads to the South Side to face the White Sox. Seattle heads down to Texas. Houston heads to the Rocky Mountains to obviously face the Rockies. Atlanta goes to play the Angels in the outfield, and the Phillies will head to the San Francisco Bay. So that is your Monday schedule for when the episode drops. And yeah. But as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It truly means a lot, and we are very blessed to be able to do this with you guys. We're so blessed to have you guys listen, tuning in to all the stuff, the Instagram, everything. It's truly, truly appreciated that you guys tune in, watch the clips, everything like that.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege and an honor. There's nothing that we'd rather do for free than talk to you about baseball. But unfortunately, it's not free thanks to Wolfgang's Wings. We don't get paid just in hot dogs.
No, not at all. Not.
We are certified. Certified.
You know who it is. I'm Jay. That's Rich. Drunks on the Pond, episode 73. Z, I need you to do me a favor, baby. I need you to hit that music because it's time for us to get the hell on out of here. Peace.